Hello, friends. Welcome to This Day That Year. And in this program, we talk about happenings in our world. And today we have interesting lineup. In fact, there is a lot of information about September 20th about US. So stick around, and this is a live show. So if you have any questions, use the chat function to send your comments and your questions, and I will take all of your questions and comments live on the show. So let's start and understand what happened on September 20th in the world. Well, friends, the first information happened on September 20th in the year 1664 when anti-amalgamation law was passed, which prohibited a white English woman to marry a black man, not the other way around. Specifically, this is a law which prevented white English women to marry a black man. This is a very absurd kind of a law. Nevertheless, this was passed in the United States in the year 1664 on September 20th. Okay, let's move to the next one. Well, next one is also about US. In 1830, September 20th, the first Negro Convention for free men agreed to boycott all the products which is being produced using slavery in the United States. So the black people got together in their first Negro Convention for free men or of free men, and they decided that they will never be buying anything which is being produced by the slaves. And this was done on September 20th, 1830. All right, let's move to the next one. And this is again about slave trade. And friends, you may be knowing that the slaves were traded. I mean, slave in the sense that humans were traded like commodities, and they used to be taken from the shores of Africa. And there was a huge business which was running, basically selling the humans. So from Africa, humans were picked up against their will. They were brought by boats and shipped to the US. And then the rich landlord used to buy the slaves so that they can have the workforce in their cotton farms. And as you know, the south side of the United States, southeast, was very rich in the cotton, and they were actually competing with India in terms of cotton production. And the India cotton as well as the United States cotton was driving the cloth industry in UK. So they were making a lot of money, and they didn't want to spend money in by paying to the labor. So what they had to do, they had to buy the slaves, and once they buy, it was like an investment. They will never have to pay any wages or salaries to the slaves. So this was going on, and this is very inhuman. So finally, in 1850, on September 20th, slave trade was abolished in DC, but the slavery was not abolished. The trade itself was abolished, but whatever has happened till that date was, whatever slaves were, working in, whoever was working in whichever field, continued to live a slave's life. But in 1850, any future slave trade was abolished in the United States. Okay, let's move to the next one. And this is about equal rights. And today, September 20th, in the year 1884, the women right group, which is called the Equal Right Party. I mean, they floated their party also in the United States called Equal Right Party, and they for the first time nominated candidates to fight for the US presidential election, and they nominated the US president candidate as well as vice president candidate in the year 1884. It's a different matter that they did not cut the ice with the voters and they did not win. But this is historic because it's not only that women got together, created or floated a party called Equal Rights Party, and in 1884 on September 20th announced the name of the candidate to fight against the for the US president and the vice president against their male counterpart. So this is a very good trivia for us to remember. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is about cars, and we know that car is very essential for our livelihood, and most of the families have purpose-built car. I mean, if you have to go nearby, you have a smaller car. If you want to enjoy with your family, you have a big car. If you want to go for camping, you have a caravan. So the cars have come a long way. But do you know that the first gasoline-powered car was launched in the year 1893 on September 20th, which is today, in Massachusetts. So this is again coming from America. I think today, September 20th, a lot of information is coming out of America. I think they were very active on September 20th. So this is about the first gasoline engine car which was launched in the year 1893. Okay, let's move to the next one. Again from America. Well, there were a lot of gang war going on in the US, and the organized crime actually arose after the First World War. And because in the First World War there were a lot of guns produced, and after the war ended, those guns came into the civilian hands. And these guns were very, very powerful, like Tommy gun, which was basically Thompson, who actually he was a big inventor, and he produced a very good quality Thompson for the army. But Thompson, by the time the Thompson was adopted by army, the war ended. So a lot of Thompson guns, machine guns, which are like short burst automatic assault rifles, were released in the civilian market, and then it became infamous or famous as Tommy gun. And this was basically used by the gangsters. And we all know Al Capone. He was a big time gangster, and I mean, there are a lot of stories. I will not talk about those, but Al Capone was in Chicago. In the Chicago, there was a liquor ban, and Al Capone was running the entire cartel, getting the liquor and selling it through his laundrettes, getting the liquor from Canada and selling through his laundrettes illegally in Chicago. There are a lot of movies built on that incident, and Al Capone has become like a cult figure himself. And he was the top underworld mafia boss. And as you can make out, Al Capone was a New Yorker. He was an Italian descent, and he migrated to Chicago and started his gang there. So there were a lot of rival gangs, and today on September 20th in the year 1926, another rival gang, Bugs Moran. Imagine their names. They have a very funny name. He tried to assassinate Al Capone in a usual drive-by shooting style. They used to get into a car with lots of Tommy gun, and all this was based on the information that Al Capone or anybody, their target is actually dining at a particular restaurant. So they will come firing all guns, and they will kill a lot of people, including their target. So all of innocent men who were actually eating in the restaurant that time were also killed. So this style of shooting was called drive-by shooting. So Bugs Moran tried to assassinate or kill Al Capone when he was actually at a restaurant in a drive-by shooting on September 20th, 1926. But Al Capone survived. All right, let's move to the next one. Finally, we have something from other countries, which is from India. Today, on September 20th, Mahatma Gandhi, in the year 1932, begins his hunger strike against the bad practice of untouchability. So this is an important incident. It's actually in the history books and taught in every school. And Mahatma Gandhi played a major role in removing this vice from our society, which is based on the caste system. And in the modern India, there is no place for these kind of things, but Mahatma Gandhi played a major role, and he made all these things go away from our society. So in 1932, on September 20th, he started his hunger strike against the untouchability, which was a big deal. And this particular incident helped remove this untouchability kind of practice from our society. All right, let's move to the next one. Again from United States, on September 20th in the year 1963, JF Kennedy, the president, the very popular president of United States, he wanted to have a joint venture with the Soviets, with USSR in the 60s, and launch a joint space mission to the moon, which never materialized. But he actually announced that he is looking for a partnership from USSR and jointly work towards achieving that goal for mankind in the year 1963, where he proposed that both US and USSR must get together, pool their energies and resources, and attempt a manned mission to moon and land on the moon and do all kind of activities. That never materialized. We know that both countries worked independently with their moon mission. So nevertheless, in 1963, September 20th, JFK was making a speech. In that he expressed his opinion. So friends, these are some of the incidents which happened today. And if you have any suggestions, any comments, do write in. I look forward to receiving your comments. I will meet you again tomorrow with tomorrow's this day, that year. Please take care, and I will say goodbye for today.